All right. Yep. The cats are eating. I can't stop. I got to wait till they finish eating. That's the rule. And sometimes they're slow eaters. So that's what it is. Let's see. Let me get all this stuff put up. All right. Let's go through here. Hello. 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 Yes, it's the place. Hello. Hello. Oh, yeah. It's Christmas Eve. It's Eve. Have you seen the video on YouTube, Trump? Okay, so this is bullshit. You know what bullshit is, right, Dan? You realize that there is a fair amount of perpetual bullshit always in the market, and YouTube especially. So don't click ever anything. No one on YouTube is giving away Bitcoin. So even when you wrote that sentence, some part of your brain should have said, why am I even writing this sentence? Right? So, yeah. Hopefully you get that that's a scam and that there are many scams like this and that that's just another of them. All right. Hello. Merry Christmas almost. Hello. Oh, yeah, people are getting whooped right now, Marie. And when people get whooped, they get quiet. The markets are quiet when people getting whooped. But this is where the money's made. Yeah, I'm awake, buddy. I promise you I wake up earlier than all of you do. Well, maybe not all of you, but most of you. Unless you're getting up at 4:30, I got you beat. Hello. Okay, nope, it's here. Yeah, I'm just going through the messages. Let's see. Yeah, this is every day right before the show. I feed the cats. And sometimes they just gobble up the food, and sometimes they just go very slow. So, yeah. Okay, so no more about the video. We get it. We know that there's a video with a bunch of bullshit with Trump. Okay. And it's not probably a scam. It's 100% a scam. You guys shouldn't even be asking these questions. Like, that should be common sense. Hey, dude, give me $10. I'll give you 20. What? Yeah, just give me 10. I'll give you 20 right now. For what? Just because? That already should be bullshit. And no, you don't need to ask what it said because all this stuff, you guys get caught up in some bullshit. I get now why you guys get scammed. Don't call me when you throw away your Bitcoin on some stupid crap. You don't get to call, or well, you don't call. No one calls me. They call Brandon. Hey, help me get it back. Like, it ain't no getting it back. That's gone. You got scammed. Let's see. We're talking about a dealer holding your car for 14 days, possibly to run. Yeah. And let's see. You can ask Google to give you a drive cycle and do it yourself. No, I can't, because a dealer in California is not allowed to sell a vehicle that can't pass smog. So this is also $1 million car. So, Rafael, two things. One, it's $1 million car. I'm not going to trust Google to give me a fucking chart of what I'm supposed to do over the next 14 days and cycle it myself. And two, a dealer in California is not allowed to sell a car. They can't legally deliver a car that hasn't passed the smog inspection in the state of California. They can't even sell it. So the fact that they delivered it with it not working means they have to make it work. And they have to compensate me for the miles. And they have to compensate me for the time. That time, they have to also drive. They have to do 14 cold starts or something like that, 13 cold starts, and then they have to drive between 160 and 200 miles, which has all sorts of implications as to the value of a car, right? And to make it even more complex, it's a lease, right? So it's a lease of a car. The sticker on it was over $700,000 before tax. The dude paid over $1 million for that car. I didn't, but he did. I guess it's a he. Anyway, and then it went to the dealership, sat at the dealership, and I got it from him. So I don't know if he ran out of money. Probably. If you pay 300K over sticker, yeah, you probably do run out of money. 250K over sticker. Anyway, so am I going to take that car and trust Google to give me fucking no? No. I'm going to call the dealer like I did. I didn't call him. I texted him. I said, "Hey, come pick it up. Get it fixed." They didn't even ask a question. They said, when can we have our trailer there? That was it. So it's going to be about 20K is what the overall, all the damages are, even though there's no physical damage. All the assumed damages, since they couldn't even sell the vehicle, I could unwind the whole deal if I wanted to, but I'm going to use it for leverage. I'm going to use it to get my money, take that money, and I'm going to apply it towards a Testarossa. And they said, if I do that, I will get the first one that dealership gets sometime around October 2026. So October of next year. Well, next year's in a few weeks. So like 10 and a half months. 10 months. Yeah. But it's a coupe, and I don't want a coupe. But then the convertible comes out a year later, they say. So then maybe I would swap that one for a coupe. I mean, for the coupe for the convertible. I don't know. A lot to think about. Okay. So let's get rid of that one. Okay. Yes, cat's fed. Yay. Hello. Well, they eat a lot of chicken. Yeah. Dan, just be careful. Yeah, I would just, you got to stay away from all that crap. If I even see those things, I report it. I'll report just as a scam, as a crypto. You can report it as a crypto scam on YouTube. Let's see, 431. All right. But you know what 431 isn't? 430. You wait. I'm guessing you meant you were a mass up at 4. You were almost. I don't know where you were going with that, but I'm guessing around there, Charlene. What up? Same as paper money size in USA. It's the same color mostly too. Let's see. Yeah, that show's so good. That show's really funny. I know a lot of people. You're talking about the cop, right? The kind of the tall black cop. He's so great. Yeah, I'm curious to see how they'll do it. I mean, I told him they have to pay me, and I'll apply it towards the down payment for the car, because they make you, anything that you order from Ferrari, you got to put 30K down. And to get a new car from Ferrari, you have to already have had one before. You have to have had another car to get a new. If there's a first year release, like the Testarossas that are coming out, you can't get one unless you've had one. Although I say that, you wave enough money, you'll get on the list. It used to be like absolutely not, but now times have changed. And I think the base on that car is 650, maybe 650K is like base. So that's going to be pretty steep on that one. That's why you lease all these, and it's a business car, and then you can deduct the lease 100%. 100%. So that's the one thing where I have a little fun is with my vehicles, because if it's just going to be a dollar for dollar offset against taxes, okay, sign me up, bro. Anyway, yeah. Okay. What I mean is it's all worthless. I don't know. Oh, the alien says that too? Yeah. Anyway. All right. Let's go ahead and look at the market. I think we got our dick punching, right? Like we were waiting for it, and the show ended, and it was a few hours later, and then we got it. Let's see. You have to make income. If you don't make an income, none of this stuff matters. Yes, you have to make income to deduct it. Barry, go somewhere else. You've been putting time out. You've been putting time out, Barry. Okay. Let's do this. If you guys have questions, ask them. But yes, yeah, you got to make income to deduct the lease. Correct. And it's all brain food, Barry. If you don't get that, you're not going to get anything else either. Nothing's going to work for you. Buddy, you got some kind of weird you got a whole laundry list of cognitive biases going on there. All right. Let's look. See, I knew where the prices were because I saw the options contracts opened lower. So I knew prices were lower. Let's see how much lower. All right. Let's see. 2.8. That's lower. Ooh, broke into the 87,000 range. Yeah, I see a lot of red. I mean, green for the week. Barely green for the week, green for the month. Well, not for everyone. Not for everyone. Finally, XRP starting to sell off. That's good. It's been a while. Okay. I've been downsizing my portfolio. Got a little bit of money in cash. Well, there's not a top 5, Dan. There's just not. There is a top 2. If I was going to put any money into the market right now, there's only 2 things I would look at. Bitcoin and Ethereum. Nothing else. Nothing. Because none of these other tokens are really needed. I like the perps platforms because I think they're very gambly and spammy. Hold on. One of the cats is out there yammering it up. I don't think there's that many quality assets right now. There's no real AI asset. The only layer 1 you need is Ethereum. The rest of them are pretty much junk. I mean, are there, I like the perps, right? But only because that's where all the spammy, gambly douchebags have gone. And even they've gotten blown out of the water. There's just nothing left. So as a gamble, Hype and Aster as a gamble, but nothing else even makes any sense at all. I mean, I can't find anything. I think right now there's no one's chasing anything. The whole market is quiet. It's jobs and income. So if you're going to be doing anything, you're dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin and Ethereum because you know they're going to be around. That's about it. Which is good. Makes your life easy. Bitcoin and Ethereum and nothing else. But I don't know that you go past that. Not right now. That's it. I mean, nothing else looks good. And I look and I get all these little reports sent, and Brandon and I go through this crap and we look at all these new projects and they all just look like the same bull crap. It's just a copy and paste of something else. Monad, a bunch of bull crap to enrich, the team. We did the math on that. They got over 30% of those tokens for the team. What kind of bull crap is that? On a really scammy launch I'm kind of embarrassed for Coinbase. That was a little bit thirsty of them. And they were really pumping the crap out of it. And same thing when you would open up MetaMask. I don't know if they still do it. Let me see. I'm gonna see if I open up MetaMask, if they give me that same pumpy bull crap. Let's see. They were pumping Monad also. Okay, let's see. Oh, interesting. Say hello to Bitcoin. Trade, manage, and buy Bitcoin directly on MetaMask. Go on. Oh, so they have MUSD, MetaMask USD. That's interesting. But I wonder how you hold. Let me look at the networks. See, so you can have Bitcoin, popular networks. Bitcoin. It's a network on MetaMask. You can hold Bitcoin on MetaMask. Now, I don't know exactly how that works. That's very interesting. But look, additional networks. The Monad network. Ooh. No one gives a crap about Monad. It's just some made up bullshit. Same thing with Say. Same thing with ZK Sync. Same thing with Palm. And really, same thing with Arbitrum and Avalanche. Fucking no one is using those. No one. Not even for like random testing. It's just crap out there, fellas. Just ain't nothing but crap. But that's cool that you can hold Bitcoin in MetaMask. Don't lose your MetaMask, right? If I'm holding Bitcoin, I'm just going to hold it. Next year you'll be able to hold it at your bank. Chase, Charles Schwab, Bank of America, Fidelity. You'll be able to hold Bitcoin right in your account, which is interesting. I wouldn't do it. I feel better having it at Coinbase. But if you have Bitcoin in your bank account and you're going to get a loan, they might look at the Bitcoin as part of your credit worthiness. If you were, I glitched out. If you were, you could take your Bitcoin, park it at your Chase account, go through the process. They'd be like, oh, this guy's got all this currencies. And then it would probably make that process easier. Or you just go wrap to CBBTC and just borrow against your Bitcoin, spin up your own loan for probably half the market rate, and you're off to the races. Market cap over 3K. You mean 3 trillion? Market, what do you, Joseph, buddy, clean up your question. Clean up your question. We talked about this yesterday, precision in questions. And if that's an answer, it's an answer and a question. You were probably trying to say 3 trillion in answer to your other question. Yes, Barry, I'm timing you out. Anybody that says stupid shit's getting timed out for 5 minutes. That's what you get. That's your punishment for saying stupid shit. Let's see. Unless something changes down the road. Well, things always change, Dan. Things always change. That's the constant. The constant is change. We don't know what the next thing in crypto is. I still think the Perps platform is going to do really well, but I don't know. But there's a point where we're out of it. And that's where when the AI software really takes over, that's it. Then we're out. Then we're sidelined. So I don't know how much more time that is. Is that 3 years, 5 years, 18 months? I would probably be on the 18-month side, but I thought, well, actually, human traders are the rounding error. It's like 80% of trading now is algorithmic, and the 20% humans that do it are the profit margin for the algos, because humans are just very bad. If you're trading, you're losing, right? If you're selling, then you have some chance marginally of winning. But if you're trading, trying to beat the markets, you're going to lose because you can't beat entities that remember everything and can act in real time and have instant liquidity, and you don't have any of those things. All right. Let's see. I've only been using ChatGPT for all questions. What AI tools are better for different types of questions? For all, I'm confused. You're using Chat GPT for every question. What AI tools are better for different types of questions? I mean, I like Chat GPT, and I use GPT 5.1, I think is what we're using now. Let's see. What are we using now? Oh, it's on 5.2. So we're on 5.2. So we're on GPT 5.2. So for me, that's fine. I mean, I haven't found any problems with it. A lot of our guys, when they're using Claude, they're using Opus, I think 4.5. The guys at Cinema that are when you were asking questions, but it's kind of like your preference. I think GPT is fine. I don't know what kind of questions you'd be asking where that wouldn't work. Why wouldn't I hold BTC at a bank? Well, I'll give you an example. Many years ago, I hired a web designer to build a website for me. And he built out the website, and he basically set up a second company. And I paid him to build the website, set up everything. I set up the bank accounts and all that. And somehow he attached my business bank account to his business. Again, he's a web designer. He ordered a bunch of office furniture, never returned it. I got hit with a $45,000 bill. No. It wasn't $45,000. It was $30,000. They froze my business account, even though his name wasn't on it, his phone number wasn't on it, and he was no way attached to my company. The fact that he listed it was enough for the state of Texas at that time to freeze my business bank account. And I had to voluntarily give them $30,000 to settle that debt. I had to give it to them to get my bank account back. They held my thing hostage. So that's why I wouldn't hold Bitcoin at a bank, because a bank can level any kind of accusation at you with zero proof and just take your shit. If you go in there one day dressed all crazy, you're all dripped out, and some teller says, that guy could be a drug dealer, they're going to freeze your shit. They don't need a court. They don't need lawyers. All they need is suspicion. Banks can do whatever the fuck they want with your money. You can fight them, but not. What if you have tons of bills you have to pay? What if you have constant recurring billing and you miss your payments? And you know what they say? They don't even say, oh, I'll give you another example. Do you guys remember when I got SIM swapped way back? Like way back? Some of you remember probably if you were around then. I got SIM swapped, and they hit me for 100,000. What they finally stole was 100,000 lumens. But at that time, lumens were almost $1. Anyway, it was AT&T. A person at AT&T had been paid, an employee, to give someone else my information, and then they SIM swapped my phone. Now, I had almost everything on exchanges, and I was fine because there's nothing they could do, because you just can't switch exchange accounts that quickly. They tried to change my email. They tried to do all this crap. They couldn't do it, luckily. So it was a fail. And I have two-factor authentication and key fobs and all that kind of shit. But what they did get is I had one private wallet. I had a Lumens wallet, a wallet for Stellar Lumens and XLM. And somewhere on my phone, like a jackass, and this is from years and years and years ago, I guess, the only thing I can figure, I don't know for sure, but I think that I must have screenshotted the private key for the Lumens wallet. It was it was called Stellar Port. That's the only thing I can figure, is that they went through my pictures and somehow, because I couldn't figure out exactly how they did it, but that's how I figure they did it. Anyway, they got a hold of that wallet. They drained that one wallet. They got their lumens. So I fought AT&T on it because it was an employee, and I knew for a fact it was. So they settled with me. They paid me some paltry sum, like $25,000, which is bullshit, but whatever. I got something back. Then, okay, AT&T is a Chase Bank client. I am a Chase Bank client. I brought in a Chase check from AT&T as a settlement through the lawyers for my case to drop it. Chase decided that that must be a fraudulent check. Why? Who knows? So they put the account under investigation, an account I'd had for years. They froze the account. They shut down the account. Then they said, oh, our mistake. This was a legitimate check. I'm like, yeah, no shit. Well, didn't matter. The account, once the a bank closes an account, there's no reopening. You have to just reopen a new account. So it was, and they froze the money for 25 days. Did they collect interest on it? Yes. Did they know it was not a scam because it was another Chase client? Yes. Was this all some weird mix-up that turned into a bullshit way for them to collect free interest? Yes. Did Chase ever even apologize? No. No, they said it was some clerical error or something. They didn't even admit to being wrong. They said, and then they deposited the money in another account. Oh, so it's okay now? Yes. What about my other account? Oh, well, that's closed. Well, I didn't close it. Yeah, well, once we close it, it's closed. I'm like, fuck you. A bunch of scumbags. That's why you don't hold money at a bank. That's why you should never hold Bitcoin at a bank. Yeah. But yes, I think 3.25, I think 3.25 trillion, because we were already in the threes. We were already near 4. The fact that we're down below 3, bad. So I think until we're at about 3.25, 3.5, we're still in a bear market. Let's see. Do you see a Tufi video describing AI models for sale to anybody? I did not. Barry, silver and platinum are not crypto. I think silver is more interesting. Platinum is kind of unloved, but platinum is being used less and less. Silver's being used a lot. And if all this battery stuff, like they're trying to get away from lithium polymer, LiPo, a lot of these batteries you have in cars and watches and all this is all LiPo batteries. LiPo batteries can blow up. I've seen LiPo batteries in like the 10th scale race cars. I've seen them light on fire, like lithium polymer. But if they switch over to some kind of silver stuff, and I don't know what the chemical compound is, silver, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, silver iodide or something. But whatever they do, I mean, that would be another use case for silver. Solar is probably a good use case for silver. So anyway, there's a lot of, I think silver makes a lot of sense. Gold is a dummy play. People that buy gold right now don't know why they're buying it, and they're idiots, but it is going up. But it hasn't really done much in 15 years. So if you're looking at an asset that's barely over a double in 15 years, that's a failed asset. So the people that are lining up to buy gold right now are morons. They don't know why they're buying it. They think they're buying it because money printing or something like that, and they're wrong. That's not why gold does what gold does. Gold is an inverse to risk on play. Like if you think the stock market is seizing up, gold is purely an uncertainty play. When there's any certainty, gold is a stupid decision, and that's historically proven. It has not done well against inflation at all. It has not tracked inflation, not even a little bit. It just has periods where there's the uncertainty deflation trade. Then those moments, it makes sense. Doesn't really make sense any other time. Yeah, an ounce of silver buys well more than a barrel of oil. Yeah, and oil's down too, and that's another bad thing. Like oil is, if you look at copper and you look at oil, that sure does tell you what the rest of the world's doing, and the answer is not much. So, yeah. Yeesh. Let's see. Does Benjamin Cohen know what he's talking about? Not really. Benjamin Cohen has always kind of been he's a well-intentioned fool. Let me say this. Benjamin Cohen's not a bad guy. Not at all. He's a nice guy. He's a decent dude. He's a fucking moron. And that's the problem, is that a moron with a shotgun can still go do a lot of damage, right? People listen to him because he typically tells them what they want to hear. And that is that there's a method to the madness, that you can look at all these scribbly lines and come up with a pattern. He has been historically wrong. Benjamin Cohen is as wrong as Nostradamus, right? Meaning he made 10,000 proclamations and 14 came true. But Benjamin's no different than any of these other talking head idiots. He doesn't invest his own money. He doesn't invest any money. All these guys stay on the sidelines. They claim, well, I don't want to invest money because I don't want to be, I don't want to have skin. I want to be a non-partial, a bystander. I want to be an observer. I want a good research. Shut the fuck up. These guys are all broke as a fucking joke. The only reason Benjamin has money is because there's tons of people that pay him for his private service. He is a fucking idiot. And I promise you, he's never made any money, because if he invests on his own advice, he will be bankrupt many times over. He'd just be toast. Let's see. I trust. I have my BTC IRA, offers bank type account for crypto with over 10,000K value. Not an IRA, but safe place. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. As long as you trust, as long as you trust the platform, right? Yeah, that's it. You nailed it. You nailed it. TA reading is reading an ink blot. Well, what are your emotions today? Well, I think the market's going to go down because of these three squigglies. All right. None of that stuff works. And it's proven. Technical analysis is less than 30% accurate. That means technical analysis and all that math is worse than flipping a quarter. Is the market going to go up? Oh, no, it says it's going to go down. You are way more accurate doing that than doing TA. And again, you just game it out to its logical conclusion. If technical analysis worked, for sure worked, then wouldn't people trade against it? And if people traded against it, wouldn't people front run that trading? And if people front run the technical analysis, doesn't that invalidate the technical analysis immediately? So if there was a real pattern for anything, and it was with certainty, so just the premise invalidates the fucking premise. It's absurdly stupid. Right? You don't even have to be a genius to get this. This is like common sense, not even 101. It's the pamphlet that explains what common sense 101 would be. But people, oh, no, the chart says it's going to do this. Okay, if the chart says it's going to do that and the chart's correct, then people will front run it, meaning instantly the chart will not be correct, because it can't predict a thing that's been front run by people with money that change the market structure so that the thing that you think is going to happen doesn't happen. It can't happen. It is not possible, which is why it's 1/3 accurate. 1 out of 3 times. Why? Because that's probably about the chances of anything fucking happening. So it's just, yes, a clown with a flamethrower has a flamethrower. But people love to reduce things to the simple. People love to reduce things to they love to reduce things to patterns, because it lets them think less, right? Just think less. I like heuristics. I like little cascades of events. I have this kind of system in the morning where I do this, and I can kind of mindlessly, I can defer thought. I know what my morning pattern is. Get up, clean the litter boxes, take the little cat door thing out, put it down, close the cat door thing, brush my teeth, shave, then the cats are going to go take their morning dump, clean that quick, because you can't let that thing sit. It will just permeate. So second cleaning of the litter box, Then depending on how dirty they were, clean up all the litter, put the litter back in the thing, flush the other litter. I have flushable litter, which is that saved me a lot. I don't have to bag litter anymore. It's flushable, which is awesome. Flush the litter, take out the cans because they eat 2 or 3 cans of food at night. So I have this whole system. Oh, and by the way, get dressed and all that. So I have this whole thing. Because I'm on autopilot, I can think about other things. Technical analysis is like a heuristic pattern of autopilot. It's nice. Oh, well, if this is going to happen, I don't have to think about it. I can defer thought in other directions because none of us can multitask. You only have 100% to give. Multitasking would imagine that you have 600% to give. You just do all. No, you might switch from subject to subject very quickly and very efficiently, but you only have 100% to give at your best. So technical analysis allows dummies to think that they have a one-up on the whole fucking planet, that they know something no one else knows, and that no one will react to it. That's the other thing about technical analysis. Because if it was accurate, it could only be accurate because no one ever reacts to it. Because if you reacted to it, it would change it. You would have disturbed the experiment, the observer disturbed experiment, right? Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, photons going through 2 slits at once, but you don't know which side it went until you observe it, and then the wave function collapses to 0, and you know what the answer is, right? Well, again, every part of common sense math and science tells you from every direction that technical analysis can't possibly work. You know where it works? It works looking backwards so that it helps you describe events that have already happened. And for that, there's value in it. It makes you a good historian. There's value in that. There's value in history. But when these guys, the Benjamin Cohens of the world, he's not the only one. He's just one of the loudest assholes out there. Yeah, okay, that's not fair. He's not an asshole. He's one of the loudest guys out there. But categorically wrong. I mean, so fucking wrong. That guy will have bankrupted you 100 times over. He's worse than Tom. Tom will bankrupt the son of a bitch. Cohen will bankrupt you over and over. You know why he's not bankrupt? Because his little fees that he gets for his behind the scenes first look technical analysis that you can trade off of. It's all bullshit. But he has a bunch of idiots, a bunch of fucking lemmings that subscribe to his service, and they pay him money, and what do they get out of it? Nothing. And what happens is you churn those guys. Guys will get in there, they do it for a while, they'll lose, they're out. New people. And then they'll get on there, they'll pay them some money, they'll lose, they'll burn out. But they're not learning anything. They don't have anything to take with them. There's zero education. There's zero game theory, thought, philosophy, nothing. It's just reading a bunch of stupid fucking charts that tell you what happened yesterday and going backwards, and then imagining that means that the forward in time is the same thing. It's so stupid. Anyway, it's mind-boggling stupid. And I've seen a lot of TA guys lose everything. Those are the new TA guys, the ones that are fresh to the game. Because they think and anytime someone first gets into TA, they're like, oh my God, this is it. This is the Rosetta Stone. This is the crystal ball that I've always needed. I finally have it. There's no stopping me. I'm going to be rich. And bankrupt. They have to get blown up a couple times before, or infinitely, before they go, oh, wait, maybe this is bullshit because, math. Because math. But 1 in 3 times, these guys are going to be like, I told you. Well, it was either going to be the same up or down. One of those 3. So if you guess every day a different one, likely you're going to hit every now and then. If you guess the same one, you might hit once in every 3 days. So with Benjamin Cohen being ultimately negative right now, he's very negative. He's looking backwards in time. He's seeing the reaction function of all these people in the market getting blown up since sketchy, shadowy, shadow bank, primary credit um, off-market credit junk dealers. Sorry, what do they call what is it? Financial. What was the new term? Financial credit institutions, non-primary or non-Fed, whatever they rename the shadow banks, depository institutions, non-federal depository or non-primary financial institutions, something like that. Basically, renaming shadow banks. When shadow banks and private credit started getting destroyed in October, early first week of October, everything came from this. And add on to that the macro. Add on no jobs, no low incomes, quits rates going down, people scared to change, worldwide recession. You look at all this, and it's all kind of coming to a head. But these are macro factors. This was brought on. I think this was mostly brought on by this unwind in shadow banking, unwind in private credit. Remember Tricolor and all these companies those guys have all been accused of fraud now, that were doing all this factoring stuff, and then they were cooking the books and creating fake accounts payables and then borrowing against that and all this kind of stuff, robbing Peter to pay Paul, just hoping they could get through this. This is that. This ain't. So if you're being negative and blaming it on squiggly lines, again, that's another kind of stupid. These squiggly lines are just there for you to kind of be able to reduce to math what you see happening in society. But it's very hard to reduce psychological forward thinking into math right now. Like, it's hard for me, no, not hard, impossible for me to use any amount of squiggly lines that are going to tell me what is going to happen tomorrow based on people's psychology about today. It's just loose inference. That's it. And it's fucking sloppy. It's really sloppy. So when people go down the path of technical analysis, they've gone down the path of being okay with slop, being okay with weakness, and fundamentally flawed ideas if it reduces the amount of brain power they have to give to a subject. Things go down because people are net selling. That's why things go down. Things go up when people think things are going to go up. So they start front running. It's all front running. You sell when you think the prices are going to keep going lower or when you must, and you buy when you think the prices are going to go higher. That's it. This is all a form of kind of, all these markets there's no fundamentals involved in this shit. It's all front running and kind of gambling. And what you try to do is you try to put some kind of fundamental system of analysis of guardrails that help you categorize good crap, bad crap, already flushed down the toilet crap. Like, it's all crap, right? We're all betting on someone else selling. The only way all of this works is if you can grab something from somebody now that they are not as interested in as you are and sell it to some jackass in the future that's more interested in it than you are. That's it. That's all we're doing with everything, mostly in life. So that's the irreducible truth. It's all a kind of speculation. We like to hope that if there's fundamental things about these companies and about these teams that are good, that they have a higher likelihood of success. But it's all speculation and gambling. You gotta be honest with yourself. And we have no control over tomorrow. None. You can be right. You can be correct and be wrong. You can be correct and be poor. You can be lucky for a little while, but it's not sustainable. So you have to balance between, I'm speculating, but here's why I'm speculating on this, and this. I speculate on this, and this because I believe, based on the team, based on these other things, that X, Y, Z will occur. So I think a lot of it is, yeah, impartial observer. That's right. I think a lot of this is you have to be honest with yourself about what you're doing in all of these markets. Does that make sense? You just have to be honest with yourself. We're all kind of gambling. And you just got to be able to sleep with that at night. None of us have control over any of these assets. Nobody knows where any of these assets are going. No one. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. That's funny, B. There was, I saw a startup a few years ago. When was this? They pitched it to me, and this girl was going to be the CEO. And I was like, what's her background? She looks like a stripper. And they're like, well, not far from it. She's like a yoga teacher. I'm like, yeah, okay, so a stripper. And she was going to predict the price movements based on star alignments. And I said to the guy that was pitching, I said, one, I'm not going to be anywhere near this thing as an investor for sure. And not even, they're like, would you like to be an advisor? I was like, hell no. Can you imagine your name being attached to that crap? Someone digs that shit up. I would rather have a rap sheet with 13 murders on it than be the dude that bent the knee to an astrology project. Get the fuck out of here. So no. I was not a part of that, and they got funding. This is how stupid people are. People gave them money, not much, but they probably gave them 10 million. I think they raised 10 million bucks. Shit was gone in 2 years. All gone, zero, fucking dust. Poof. I mean, and I joke. I talked to the developer a few weeks ago. And I said, hey, how'd that astrology project go? He goes, yeah, that went straight to zero. He goes, they didn't even launch the token. They took 10 million bucks. Then they never even launched the token. They were bankrupt before that. I'm like, oh, I can only imagine the lavish bullshit yoga parties they were throwing and all the nonsense. Like, yeah, I bet that yoga teacher has her own yoga studio. Can you imagine like a yoga studio? And then again, I don't know what was, but you imagine like there's like CNBC screens, like a constant ticker all the way to like it's hot yoga and the non-farm payroll this morning. Yeah. You're like, what the fuck? So anyway, yeah, that thing crashed right to zero. I'd love to see. Yeah. So stupid. So stupid. Although I can't really, other than that yoga chick, I can't remember anybody else involved. So maybe I should have taken their money. I don't know, whatever. Although I would have probably asked to get paid in coins. I mean, that's stupid because I would have never done it because it was dumb and I didn't do it. But if I had done it, I would have said, give me coins. And I never launched a coin. So I would have been like ass out also. So I lost even though I didn't do it. I didn't even do it and I lost somehow. And by the way, you know that like all the signs, like your the month you were born and all that, all that changed a few thousand years ago, right? Like they switched calendars from the original calendars to like the new calendars. Go read about that. So that's the other thing. Like if all that astrology stuff is correct, it's off by a couple months. And no one really wants to admit that either, but I guess big astrology keeps that stuff quiet. You don't want to go up against big astrology. You cross those guys, you're going to find yourself in a park, high as hell, wearing some old silk and cotton garments, no shoes, feet all dirty, stuck in some perpetual fucking nirvana. You don't want that. No one wants that. Unless you're a Buddhist. Apparently that's exactly what you want. So maybe they do want to cross big astrology. Anyway, yeah, there's a bunch of junk out there. But you know what? Big astrology is not that much dumber than most of these layer one protocols right now. Polka dot, big astrology. XRP, big astrology. It's not even a layer 1. Cardano, well, if you know anything about Charles, bigger astrology. These guys they just can't find their ass with both hands. Sui, I thought was going to do better, but Vitalik stepped up. So I think Sui is probably doomed. Again, these assets will have their little bounces, but mostly doomed. Aptos doomed. Ondo, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that Ondo is that interesting now. I thought it was going to make a run. But really, once Ethereum tightened the screws and once Vitalik came back and woke up, came out of hibernation, whatever, these other projects were all doomed. Even that little garbage thing they did on Solana, for Galaxy Digital, that's just Novogratz trying to pump Solana. That's not a deal that required Solana. It's a marketing deal. It's a marketing experiment for Solana, and you'll notice that all of Wall Street didn't just go, yeah, Solana, yeah. I don't give a shit. I think Solana will have some limited use cases, but very limited. They basically started dying when the meme coin market went away, which is what most people said. Solana's use case is meme coins. And because people in meme coin trading don't care if the network shuts down. Makes no difference to them. They're like, oh, well, okay. Like, hey, you can't trade your coin today. Okay. I don't even know how to trade it anyway. You know what the biggest question was? Like, remember when COVID, everybody got their free money. They started playing on Robinhood. Whoa, they had the Wall Street bets and all that kind of bullshit. Most of the questions, I think, that were coming into Robinhood was, I don't know how to sell. So people learned how to buy an asset I can purchase. Then they had it, and they're like, I don't know how to sell it. What about the sell button? No, it's not going to be that simple. Must be more to it. No, really, it's just you just push the sell button. I don't know. I better ask customer service. Okay, yeah, do that. You didn't ask them about buying when you spent your $86 you got last night from tips from your strip club, but you spent it on selling. Got it. Okay, cool. Go buy more GameStop. How's that working out for you, by the way? Oh, crypto, douche kitty, roaring kitty got paid. You guys all didn't make shit, and the company is in the toilet again. And then they lied about buying Bitcoin and raised a bunch of money and didn't buy any Bitcoin. They bought a little bit of Bitcoin. They basically kept the money. So they lied to you dummy investors again. I mean, it's just one thing after the next with these morons. There's no cheat code, man. There's no fucking cheat code. You know what the cheat code is? Education. Education is the cheat code. Game theory is the cheat code. And all that does is give you a slight marginal arbitrage on decision making. But if you make enough decisions, that arbitrage equals a lot, and over time you melt away from your peers. But that's the only advantage. Game theory. You want to make a bunch of money, you have to have a game theory mindset all the time, be honest about your cognitive biases, and go out and try a bunch of stuff, and most of it's going to fail. But know that if you try a bunch of stuff and you're willing to do work, and work is not your job. Work is what you do when you're done with your job for the day. I go to work. No, you don't. You go to job. You go to job to pay bills and to sustain life. Work is what you do after your job is done. And if you are willing to work and employ game theory and pay attention to your cognitive biases, then you have a better than average, a casino chance, a better than average chance of succeeding. And if you understand the merits of compound interest, then it's only a matter of time. If you get compound interest, you win. If you don't, you're on the other side of it. And that's the credit card side of it. You don't want to be on that side of it. That's the bad side. But there is a path to winning. It's not a thing that you buy or a thing that you sell. It's a game theory mindset and an awareness of your own biases and failures. A constant awareness. And if you do that, you will fucking win. Dude, that was the game changer. I've been trading forever. I've been trading for a long time. I was a hedger at a precious metals refinery. I promise you, I've been trading. I mean, I'm not super old, but I've been trading as long as I was trading when I was 16, when my dad had to open an account for me at Chase, through Chase. I was trading through Chase. I had to call in my orders. I didn't even have a fucking driver's license. My dad had to drive me there. I've been trading. I've been in around math. I wasn't any good. I was winning now and then giving it all back. I wasn't any good until game theory. And the more I thought about game theory and the more I framed my decision-making around it, well, two things happened. One, it does emotionally separate you from most people, which I don't mind, because people are mostly emotional creatures. And when you are mostly math creature, two things happen. One, you economically start leaving other people. And then emotionally, you are leaving other people because you're game theoretical in your decision making, and then you don't really feel like being with other people, hanging out with other people. You kind of like doing your own thing. I never understood that for a while. Charlie Munger would say, the greatest thing about being rich is that you don't have to hang out with people anymore. I mean, he phrased it differently, but basically he's like, you don't have to be around the people you don't like ever again. I'm like, I like Charlie Munger. I like this guy. I mean, if I had it my way, it'd just be me, these two cats, some robot servants, some badass robot servants, and I don't know. I think I'd be pretty content. And Uber Eats, I'd probably be pretty damn content. So once you can order Uber Eats without thinking about it, you're rich. That's really it. That's the mark. That's what rich is. When you can order Uber Eats every day and not think about it, not think about the price, you are rich. I think wealth, I don't even know what wealth would look like, but I think that's Uber Eats. I think that's rich. I really don't think rich is owning things. I think rich is being able to go have experiences whenever you want, not think about the price. If you want to go on a weekend trip, just go. And so when you think about it, rich isn't a huge number, depending on how you manage your life. Rich is probably very close. That's why, based on a lot of research, if you have $10,000 a month extra after all your bills are paid, you live 90% the happiness of a billionaire. What's the other 10%? What, an extra blowjob once a night? I don't give a shit. You give me 90% the happiness of a billionaire, that is good, bro. That is good. I'll take it. And that's achievable. There's not anybody here that can't get to an extra 10K a month. Not one person. And for those of you that are there, you've reached the food fucking zone where you don't have to think about the cost of food. That is pretty much it. You're a billionaire. Ostensibly. You don't have to think about food. You're a billionaire. Right? Because whenever you can eat a good meal, you're eating just as good as a billionaire. They're not eating billionaire food. It's the same shit. A steak doesn't taste 100 times better because it costs 100 times more. I promise you, the $1,200 steaks you get in Japan are no fucking better than the $86 steak you get here in Los Angeles. $86 is a lot for a little 12-ounce steak, but you're not getting a steak that's 15 times more delicious by paying $1,200. You'd just be able to say that you have a $1,200 steak. And guess what? No one ever gave a shit. You tell I had a $1,200 steak. I told that to anybody I know, they'd be like, you're an idiot. But you have a nice, so it is achievable. The happiness that other people, it's not a number. It is very achievable. For me, it's getting to the food barrier, right? The food zone where food, I don't think about the cost of food. I can go on my little adventures, whatever. I can go do my little Amazon things, buy some strip lights and bullshit, all my little bullshit I buy. I'm in a whole string light phase. I'm going through my artwork and trying to put string lights behind it with batteries and all this kind of shit. But I don't know that there's any more happiness than surpassing that food barrier. So I would say food financial freedom. You get to food financial freedom, buddy, you made it. So for me, it's just get there and then don't give it back, right? That's where constant vigilance and game theory pays off. Again, constant vigilance and game theory is what gets you to build that moat that protects you from going backwards. Don't get it and give it away. I've done that about 4 times. I've been rich like 3 times, giving it back. This time, I'm not giving it back because I protected myself along the way. From the first 3 times, I did it like a jackass. If you're going to build something, hedge it. Hedge yourself. Hedge against your own behavior. Let's see. If you cook yourself, you can spend more money on other activities. Yeah, that's true. I'm just not a great cook or chef. But yes, you're absolutely right, Joseph. If you learn how to cook, for me, it's the time. I can just order food and then play with the cats, do my other stuff, play my VR, scream at the developers, working on cinema, all that kind of stuff. And then the food shows up. Have I ever been married? Absolutely not. And I will not get married. The contract of marriage, well, that's a whole other thing. That's a different discussion for a different day. But yeah, marriage and love have nothing to do with each other. Those are just different animals. So we'll see you again tomorrow. Yep, sorry I was a little bit late, but I made sure to go the full hour so you guys didn't get gypped. Trust me. Trust me. When those, I won't have a robot wife by definition, but would I have a robot companion? Depending on the quality of that robot companion, and if I could get like a new model every year, oh yeah. All right. Stay in school. Don't do drugs. Don't do anything my poor and solid drunk son of a math grandmother or Brandon wouldn't do. We will be back here. We will see you tomorrow. And I'll probably spend a few minutes behind the wall. We may want to comment on options. Those of you, just a few of you, because I'm not going to do a Christmas one because there's no market. But then Friday we'll be closing out some options positions. So maybe we'll do some options talk behind the wall tomorrow. Just for those of you that are in some positions, just to make sure that you're settled, you're ready for Friday, especially if you're trying to do some tax harvesting. Cool? Okay, deuces.